What up, y'all? It is your man D Real again, coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. This is part 2 of recommended reading that I recommend you read. We're going into issue 2 of Tuskegee Heirs, Flames of Destiny. Quick recap: as y'all remember, last time we introduced the team of Ayanna, Genesis, Trip, Omar, and Abel, and they're flying the P-51 Mustangs. They end up getting the P-5000s, which are capable of transforming into a bipedal kind of robot mech mode, and they had to fight this giant robot. And as we know, in their world, unscheduled, unmanned piloting is just totes against the rules, and they don't like that. And so Colonel Mars, in an effort to protect his squad, sends them out into the wilderness in Mexico, Veracruz to be exact. And that's where we find them, out in the woods, in front of a campfire, chopping it up, chit-chatting with each other. And as you can see, I called him Trip. I meant Slip. Slip is complaining about being out in the wilderness because there's mosquitoes and everything out there biting them, and they're talking about, you know, that they feel like it might be for the best and to enjoy nature and all of that. But Abel wants to know about how Ayanna, last issue, got into the building where the senator was being held hostage, and what did she do when she said she wanted to let off a little steam. Okay, well, Ayanna's telling her story basically about how she came through, kicked the door in, kicked in the door, waving the 4-4, and she got in there, and she had to go up against a bunch of scabs. Scabs are robot beings, and it's a cool acronym. They got a lot of acronyms, which stands for Sentient Command Agent Battalion. And that's what they look like. Okay, they got bad intentions in mind. And as you can see, clearly, Ayanna ain't one to shy away from a fight. So I'm gonna let y'all think y'all taking me in, and suddenly Miss Ayanna goes into action in a way that only she can go into action, and she takes them out. So like I said, not only is she the leader, she's the fighter of the crew that squares off and handles business like that. Flash forward. Abel appears enamored of her abilities, and the crew does not hesitate to give him a hard time about it. You're amazing, fighting and defeating centaurs, moving around with the stealth of a ninja, single-handedly saving the senator. That's so awesome, is Abel's response. Okay, and Genesis decides to respond with, "You didn't think she was our leader because of her cheery demeanor, did you? Wait till you hear the story of how she sparred with Colonel Mars for nearly 2 hours." Okay, and speaking of Colonel Mars and the senator are rolling in his clearly 1970s whip, and they are having conversation with someone else from Colonel Mars' past. And the way they're talking to each other, her name is Natasha, the way they're talking to each other, it seems like they have some sort of past together, because there she go. She throwing the finger up in his face. She giving him stank eye. What kind of stuff is going on? Good morning, Senator. Good morning, soldier. Mars. Natasha. Already, you get that vibe like, uh-oh. If I find out that you had anything to do with this personally, she's talking about the robot and all of that craziness. She said, I will personally shut you and your little farm down before you know it. And Mars responds with, just like always, you wouldn't stand a chance. So yeah, they got some past. And so it's the senator that's got to intervene. And it's like, okay, children, stand down. So they've got things to do. And she kind of makes a remark, an attempt to make a cutting remark at Mars and says, yes, we'll let George Washington Carver get back to planting peanuts. But you remember, if I find out you had anything to do with any of this, you're going down. But what's he hollering? He hollering, George Washington Carver was a great man. And he was. But the next day, Ayanna wakes up. She finds out that Genesis and Omar have left to go do some sightseeing. And I like that they make a comparison about the statue or sculpture or figurehead, whatever it is, has decidedly African features, Afrocentric features, and that's another testament to Greg Burnham's woke and intelligent writing, where he says, historians still aren't sure how the Olmecs were able to transport these boulders that range from 6 to 50 tons from the Sierra de los Tuzlas Mountains. And he said, well, there's been wide speculation as to who actually built these spectacular monuments, simply because of the way he looks. Take this guy, for example. These features would lead you to believe he was an African. The broad nose, the braided hair, the eyes, the full lips, and you could tell Genesis and Omar are really the brainy types. Meanwhile, Ayanna, Abel, and Slip are trafficking through the jungle to catch up with him. And, the whole time, Slip's bitching about the mosquitoes and how he tired of being in there. And if you look, you can see the detail in Marcus's writing, in Marcus's drawing of how, Slip's got mosquito bites all over him, which kind of leads me to believe Slip's kind of on team light skin. He's like a light skin, bruh. But also makes the reference that Colonel Mars found Ayanna as a baby and raised her as his own. So that might be one of the reasons why she's so nice at what she does. Meanwhile, when they finally catch up to Genesis and Omar out sightseeing, Genesis sees some guys who are bullying and giving someone a hard time. And she decides to go in there and handle it. Jen may not be no Ayanna, but she ain't no slouch. She's flipping and she got bugs and holds and she's locking folks down, MMA style. And, said he won't be swinging that arm for a while. Hyperextension is what it looked like. And then everybody else got involved. My man Omar just put a foot in that cat's face and sent him flying, flip-flops straight in the air. And so they ain't happy about, eventually, they're not happy about all of this attention that's being drawn to them. Meanwhile, as we walk in this, and Slip tells his story, he's talking about how he led a revolution and all of that. And ultimately, what they tell him, Slip, please stop lying, and then we find out Slip was actually born with a silver spoon in his mouth and lived real good. But eventually, the scabs show up because of all of that drama, and the scabs scope them out. I like that technology. Oh, that's the broad that beat up some scabs the other day. So they on her, looking at her to get at her. And that's when they put on their personalized, pressurized knuckle gloves. Good for beating the dog crap out of scabs, which all of them do. And as we can see, everybody in the Tuskegee Heirs appears to be nice with their hands. And Slip, rather than just taking them out, is tripping on the fact that the scabs are able to adapt to his fighting style. You wasting time, man. And so they all back in the Jeep. Tour guide picks him up. Colonel Mars tell him, yo, y'all got to leave. And he's chewing Genesis out for starting all of that up. But Genesis is going off on them, talking about defend the weak, use our skills for good, do the right thing. This is what Mars teaches us. You teach us this. The part I haven't learned is how to do good only when it serves me. That's not who we are. So yeah, newsflash, if the situation should ever present itself again, I will do the same exact thing and deal with the consequences as they come. So I was shocked to see, you know, a surprising amount of outspokenness, because Genesis is so strong to stand behind her principles to the point where she's ready to defy Ayanna and Colonel Mars. So I like her. I like her a lot. Bottom line, they back in the air, up in the sky, in the P5000s, and they outro. Meanwhile, they get ran into by a couple of you know what's. And what do they say? We fight. We fight. Anybody ever seen Red Tails or knows anything about the Tuskegee Airmen fighting, man? I like that they keep all of that entrenched in Tuskegee Heirs. And then we see, the bad guys have some pilots of their own. What's going to be happening next issue? Guess what? Y'all gonna have to tune in and find out. Are y'all enjoying the Tuskegee Heirs? I'm enjoying bringing it to you, and I'm so happy and proud to bring it to you. And I keep bringing it to you if y'all say this is something y'all digging. If y'all ain't digging it, yo, Marcus in back of the bus, my man, holla at me. Tell me what you're thinking about how this is going down right now. And as always, I'll be coming at y'all with another one of them other ones. And until I do, yo, y'all be good. Good to each other.